Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is finally playing out this short-term bullish divergence as the price of Bitcoin is attempting to reclaim this critical Fibonacci level, while in the short term, we're now officially seeing a new bullish cross flash on this Bitcoin indicator. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is technically still looking bullish on the larger time frames. And if we're taking a look at this weekly time frame, it's the same story as well, still looking very bullish, playing out a major bull run on the larger time frames despite short-term pullbacks that we see along the way. And if we're taking a look at this 4-day time frame, as of right now, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bullish market. So as I always say, despite what happens on small time frames in the short term, when we're zooming out, looking at the big picture, right now, all of these different charts and indicators are looking very, very bullish on the larger timeframes. But with that being said, if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, of course, we still have this 1618 Fibonacci extension acting as resistance at around 100,000 to 102,000 approximately. So right around there, still expect some resistance at that level on the Bitcoin price chart. But if we're taking a look at this 3-day time frame, right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is attempting to reclaim this previous 1618 Fibonacci extension on the 3-day time frame, which is sitting at around 94 to 95,000 approximately. And over the last couple of days, we actually saw a break to the downside below 94,000. But like I just said, we're now attempting to reclaim that level on the price chart. So especially if we could see another 3-day candle close back above $95,000. And by the way, the next 3-day candle close is in a little over 1 day from now. So if that confirms above 95K, obviously that would be some good news just in the short term if we can reclaim this level and flip it into new support again. And so in that case, the next resistance to watch out for is once again at around $100,000. We have a lot of resistance at around 100K, and then also around 102K approximately. And if we head higher than that, if we start breaking out above 100,000 to 102,000, in that case, we could potentially see a move up towards 113,000, but only once we can see a confirmed breakout above around 100,000, give or take. And we also have this previous Fibonacci extension, which could be acting as support right now, sitting at approximately 89,000. So if we were to see a continued pullback here in the short term, then I would expect support at around 89,000. I'm not saying we're going to go there. I'm just saying if we see a continued pullback, expect some support at approximately 89,000. And with that being said, if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 12-hour Bitcoin chart, obviously this bearish divergence is technically still active on the 12-hour time frame because we've not confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate the bearish divergence. And an invalidation signal, by the way, would be either a breakout in the RSI on the price action, so basically breaking out in the RSI above this descending line of resistance, or ideally above a previous high in the RSI, that would invalidate the bearish divergence. Or like I just said, if we see a breakout in the price as well, that can also invalidate the bearish divergence if we start breaking out above $100,000. But at least for now, technically speaking, while the bearish divergence is still active, technically speaking, we shouldn't necessarily expect a massive amount of bullish momentum just in the somewhat short term. Obviously, we can bounce around a little bit here in the short term, which means short-term bullish and short-term bearish price action, but most likely forming a bit of a consolidation phase, a bit of a sideways consolidation before eventually we see a breakout at some point, potentially in the next couple of weeks or so. And that's very similar to what we saw last time, around 4 years ago in the last Bitcoin bull cycle, just underneath that all-important 20K level. Everyone was focusing on $20,000 per Bitcoin, just like how everyone right now is focusing on $100,000 per Bitcoin. And back then, before we ultimately saw the breakout into fresh new all-time highs and continued a major bull market, before that actually happened, we did see a lot of struggle in the price of Bitcoin for a couple of weeks or so before ultimately breaking out later on. And we did play out a bearish divergence back then around 4 years ago during that bull market. And so that's why I'm saying just have a bit of patience here in the short term. It might take a week, maybe a few weeks before we eventually see a breakout above 100,000. But in my opinion, it's only a matter of time. It's only a question of when we actually see that breakout, not if. And if history is any indication, once again, it's likely potentially going to be a couple of weeks of maybe a sideways consolidation. So little bits of short-term bearish price action and short-term bullish price action like what we saw just here before ultimately we break out at some point soon enough. And if you want to get set up ready to go to take these next trading opportunities in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take most of my trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a 500 USDT position airdrop. So basically a free $500 trade as your first trade over on Bybit, but that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there's also Bitfinex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex below this video, and if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus, and only if you use that link, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever, but that's only available if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account. So as another option out there other than Bybit, one that you can access from the US, once again, there's Bitfinex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. But with that being said, taking a look at the short-term Bitcoin price charts here on the 2-hour time frame, we are officially playing out this bullish divergence that I talked about just in my last Bitcoin video just yesterday. And so obviously, like I said yesterday, we just confirmed this bullish divergence here on the 1-hour chart and also on the 2-hour chart, as we can see, with lower lows confirming the price and higher lows confirmed in the RSI. And so like I said yesterday, when the price was back down here, we're most likely going to see either at least some choppy sideways price action or most likely a slight bullish relief. So basically a break from this pullback right here just for around a day or two. And obviously it's been around 1 day worth of this playing out. And so far it's playing out exactly as expected. So potentially over the next few hours, maybe up to around another day or so, we could potentially continue to play out this bullish divergence, but I wouldn't necessarily rely on this bullish divergence for too much longer. Really, I wouldn't rely on it for too much longer than around a day or two from now. And that's simply due to the fact that it's only on the 1 or 2 hour chart here, only looking at the short term. And usually these short term patterns basically lose relevance very quickly within a couple of days. And so there's a good chance that we've already seen this mostly play out. Once again, it could continue to play out for the next few hours, maybe for another day, but I wouldn't rely too heavily on this bullish divergence for much longer. But with that being said, we might not necessarily have to rely on this bullish divergence for much longer, because if we're taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart right now, we're possibly seeing a bullish crossover in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD. Now, I want to make it clear that at least at the time of recording this video, this potential bullish crossover in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD is not yet confirmed. It's just a signal that is flashing right now, but not confirmed. And that's simply due to the fact that the MACD goes off candle closes. So we need to see at least a candle close confirm on this 4-hour time frame to actually cement that bullish cross in place here in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD. And the last time we saw a bullish crossover in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD was around the 19th to 20th of November. And what came next was a continued short-term pump over the next couple of days, around an 8% move towards the upside over the next 2 days approximately. And so this is just an indication telling us that we're starting to regain some bullish momentum in the short term. But once again, it's important to remember that at least for now, this is not yet confirmed. We still need to wait for a candle close to confirm this signal. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, once again, we still have a lot of liquidity at around $100,000 per Bitcoin, which means if we could see a breakout above 100,000, then ultimately that will trigger a major short squeeze, sending the price much, much higher. Kind of like what we saw 4 years ago. Once we broke out above that 20k level, we saw an explosion to the upside, and we'll likely see the same thing once we can finally see a confirmed breakout above 100,000. But of course, we also have some liquidity to watch out for to the downside. As I said in my last video, around 87,000 give or take, we have a decent amount of liquidity. So watch out for that level. If we were to see a continued pullback, that would likely cause a long squeeze if the price broke below around 86,500 to 87,000. And watch my last Bitcoin video if you want to know more about that. And other than that, we also have some liquidity at around 86,500 and some more liquidity at approximately $90,000. And so ultimately, we're taking a bit of a break, just cooling off in a bit of a sideways consolidation on this 12-hour chart, playing out a short-term bullish divergence, but zooming out, looking at the bigger picture, all of that is occurring currently within a larger bull market. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.